Welcome to The Devil's Advocate, brought to you by the Kaiju Army. My name is Goji Spit, and with me I have guests FakRavens and MX Gamers
Hello.
and Minscrot.
Hello.
How are you all doing today?
I'm doing fine.
I am also doing fine.
Yeah, and happy
Good.
Happy New Year to everyone watching.
Oh,
Well, yes, thank you. Happy New Year to everybody else.
yeah. It's fun.
Anyway, this is Devil's Advocate, where we bring bad movies to court. Now, I will admit this movie isn't that bad this time, so I'm easing you all in. Mwahaha. Anyway, today's movie is Gorgo, which is basically Great Britain's version of Godzilla.
Oh.
I will be giving you my argument and why I think it could be a better movie if you take a certain context in it. And then what we will do is we'll watch the movie and then we will converse afterwards. There will be a rating system of 10 years in prison all the way down to 1 year in prison, which means you didn't hate it that much, but it still should go away, or full acquittal because of the description I gave. Anyway, if you are all ready, I will get into the action.
I am ready.
Sounds good.
I'm also ready.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I am here with one Gorgo, a monster movie from the 70s. It has been accused of bad blue screen effects, a man in a suit, ego the size of a small planet, child abuse, and large use of disconnected stock footage. I am here to say that it is a movie that let me try that again. I am willing to argue that this movie has a point to it, even though the point that they give, which is overwrought, is man's fight against Mother Nature and how Mother Nature will win every time. I think it's more about the mentality of a person who sees the money. They follow the money, they go after the money, and they don't care what happens. And in the ending, when they see the damage that they've wrought, then they try to pull themselves out of it and help the people around them because of their hubris and short-sightedness. The movie is an hour 16 minutes. We will be getting into it shortly. I just have to set up screen share. While that is going on, while I'm setting that up, I will give you a short commercial. This episode is brought to you by the Kaiju Army. Friends, do you have infrastructure concerns? Is the current residents of your lovely town preventing you from taking your city into the future? Well, worry no more. Hi, I am Goji Spit, leader of the Kaiju Army. We turn any city, big or small, to rubble. Then all you have to do is clear the now easy-to-move rubble and rebuild with the peace of mind that your city will thrive like never before. Just yell Gojira, and a representative will be with you shortly to go over many affordable plans. Thank you. And there we go. It has begun.
Maybe still lo-fi in the background.
Now, there's some lines in this movie that are said so British that you're like, how can you be so calm with the subject matter you're speaking of?
You guys still hear the lo-fi? Is that just me?
Well, for me, the music is so quiet that I don't hear it. Don't really. I can hear the stream and the movie. It's just the lo-fi. I don't really hear that.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, lo-fi. Oh my gosh. Shush. Yes, 2 exciting hours of staring.
What else are you going to do on a boat? Like,
This water is not very clear.
Yeah, almost all underwater scenes you look at it and go, what are they doing?
that man does not sound like his accent does not sound like it's from any country I recognize.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Uh,
he's from Wisconsin and England at the same time.
Yeah.
this fact that they are you were clearly able to see that there were 2 different shots.
You have to applaud them for the SFX.
What are they doing with the barrel?
I don't know.
And why is the barrel not rolling around? It's the last thing you should do is hold onto a barrel. Just, uh,
I think they rolled the barrel a bit to make it look like the ship was moving.
Was he underwater that whole time?
This is shortly
no.
after the incident. He's
Oh.
checking out the damage.
By the way, your mouse is on the video.
On the screen?
Yeah, on the
Of
screen.
course it is.
Evolution!
Gummy things. Fishes.
The average European coast.
And the sad story begins.
Tragic backstory. Initiated.
Now notice the huge attachment to that small house they just walked up to.
How they walked from the first floor to what appears to be an attic.
Yeah.
Fuck off, kid.
I swear the way they treat that kid this entire movie.
Didn't they come for supplies?
I was totally convinced he had no hard feelings whatsoever.
Absolutely not. No aggression there.
Because I always look for divers while sitting on top of the water.
The what we established is incredibly murky water.
What surprises me is a lot of this is blue screen to make it look like they're in the area they're in. But they have a water around the boats and they move the boats. Why don't you just record it on location? I mean, really.
Well, I imagine it's probably pretty windy
Yeah.
coming off the coast like that. Whoa, he took the coins off him. Did he just rob a corpse?
Well, he wasn't dead yet. And as they go down the murky depths, questioning their sanity. Oh, wait, no, we're questioning their sanity.
They're very sane. Apparently, there's gold down there. That's a logical conclusion.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better to search for that once you have a ship and stuff, and not just a small boat? And
Who needs that? There's gold. You buy a ship with the gold.
yeah,
There hasn't been any death or anything that would, ward you off of that area.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, only if we could see what they're saying and be fearful of it.
yeah, I thought the same.
And no one brought a flashlight, just a harpoon.
And notice they swimmed away like, well, that happened, and not, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
And they are sitting in the small boat.
Yep, and
Um,
smoking.
Well, this very
They're on break.
huge.
That actually wasn't a scene. It was just the director started recording their break.
Oh, new barrels.
Hey.
Fuck off, kid. Fuck you, kid. Jesus. It's gonna insult him.
When I said accused of child abuse, I wasn't kidding. This poor kid.
They just really don't like the Welsh. They were in protest of the shark.
What's that?
They were in protest of the shark. The march.
What surprises me is the special effects are bad in a lot of this, but the model work is superb. Not the monster, not the monster. The model work and interaction with the monster, yes.
Okay.
I was going to say, this ain't no Jurassic Park.
What was that throw? The spear landed sideways.
How deep? And the water must be really shallow, unless he has like really long legs.
Yeah.
Standing on his tippy toes for dominance.
You know, all in all, it's not a bad suit. It's like, what are you going to have me do while I'm in the suit? Give me some direction. Well, we're going to throw fire at your suit. What?
Wow, they got a lot of fire lying around.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, I first thought that I can throw like 16 torches, or I don't really know how they're called. But now they have like
Shit. Every day you
7
light 16
fireplaces.
bonfires. You're a fool until you need it. You want us on the island? No, you didn't want us on the island before. Like,
Uh, do they have those there?
Yeah, I was wondering because he's looking through a window and it didn't look like there was one there.
Yeah, the thing is, those houses don't have windows. And if they do have windows, why do they have windows? It's like a completely different area, the technology.
oh, and you're just going to throw a fishing net on a, what, 30-foot monster?
Yeah,
Well, you got to get the plot rolling somehow.
but okay.
Usually you don't climb on to the lure.
They're going to capture him from the inside!
Now bring it up. Now down. Now up. Now down. Is he sick yet?
It is surprisingly deep for a ship that's fucking beats.
I don't think it was beached. They had an issue with the propeller. The shaft was bent
Yeah.
or something. Because you know you can fix that easily.
Hmm.
Oh, I can count the pixel.
What is that red light indicating? That a monster has grabbed you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was wondering, normally there are no red lights in such a thing.
The net just drops on his head, and it's just a little piece of cloth. We got him. Human ingenuity. Notice he's a very polite monster. He wrapped himself up for them.
Yes.
Don't question the net. It just works.
And that boat and winch is strong enough to pull it up.
Yeah.
Even though it's
Also, the
like
boat.
4 times the size of it, supposedly.
Yeah, and why doesn't the ship just how's it called?
Capsize.
Yeah. With that weight on one side?
Everybody's leaning on the other side.
Ah, okay. Sure. Okay. That works.
The monster has been on a diet, so it's not as heavy.
Some scientists pulled some stuff out of their ass, and now we're telling it to you.
Yeah. How long has they've had it like enough time to print the news, yet they just pulled it out of the water and took a guess?
So lick him a lot.
It's like licking a frog and you get high. Lick the kaiju.
Later, I will try to source the actual video instead of trying to use Pixel Vision.
Hmm. Why is he on board?
He snuck on.
Ah, okay.
Oh shit! Fucking rock that kid.
I mean, where would he run? He's literally on a ship.
In circles.
Good thing they put Jesus on guard.
And hold on to the barrels.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on, ship and barrels.
Like I said, this isn't that bad a movie. It's a pretty good movie. It's just got issues. So we went up.
By the way, didn't they say that they have to pour water over the skin?
Yeah.
Why did they put a tent over it then?
Is it just me or does the audio sound weird?
The audio sound weird.
Yeah, I can hear it too.
Oh,
Okay.
back to normal.
Fix.
Give the alien creature thing you've never met before drugs. That should go well.
Fantastically. You did give it a tranquilizer. Man, that's kind of their version of a middle finger. This is actually footage of them dragging a model of Gorgo through the town as a promo stunt.
Gorgo's stripping off his face right now.
Because that's his name. Duh.
Uh, why at a circus?
What else is more scientific?
Yeah.
I don't know, a zoo?
Nothing can go wrong with a name like Dorkin.
We rushed
Rush
the job.
the enclosure
Yes,
for
because
the
nothing,
dangerous creature that has killed before in a new environment. Yeah, no, just rush him.
nothing
Drug him
is
more. Drug
nothing
him
is better
more.
than a rushed job.
Yes, yes, it's a very rushed job. You kind of see the outcome of that. Like he could answer the question at all. Because I've done this a million times, giant dinosaurs are in my resume.
But he's not very wet, is he? I mean, he must be so dry.
Dropping him on dry sand.
Another thing is, how do they feed him? Or
They never mention that,
just
which bugs the hell out of me because I was thinking the same thing.
They just feed him more tranquilizers. Duh.
okay. Sure.
If the rope is good enough to get through his bolt cutters, his claws couldn't get through the rope when he was on the boat.
So I got a bit part in this movie. What do? You go in, you do the stupidest thing you could possibly do, and then walk away without consequence.
By the way, where's the enclosure supposed to be?
Right behind him.
Why did they cut him loose while he's not in the enclosure?
Yeah.
They're going to kindly ask him to enter the enclosure.
Yeah. We need you to cease and desist your current actions in forward movement and.
Right.
No, but you took that photo.
Those 4 people were in a vehicle and decided to get out of the vehicle and run. Why? Why not use the vehicle?
Guess they can run
Okay, that was a
faster.
weird edit. Either the elephant blew up or the car did. I wasn't sure.
Mims, you
Wow.
keep bringing up that they haven't wet him whatsoever, and now they're lighting his skin on fire.
I also like it that they have, in one shot, very small torches, and now it's clearly edited. Like,
Sorry to inform you, your husband died of plot.
So Gorgo has killed
What's that?
has used 4 or 5. He has killed like 4 or 5 people, right, at this point?
Yeah.
And now they're filling the circus full of people?
Yeah.
Well, the very rushed
Well,
thing
it almost
is
makes you think,
perfectly safe.
right, it almost makes you think that, maybe like the people who made Jurassic Park should have watched this movie.
You got a point there. This brings back my argument for it. They're just following the money. That's all they can see. And every time something shows them that they're stupid, the money just draws them in further. Why do they even have that scene? He drives in with the thousands of people and then it's like, hey, we're making money. And then he drives out.
5 shillings is pretty cheap, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it 5 cents?
Even for the 60s?
Well, taking into consideration inflation, maybe. Maybe $5? I don't know, actually.
Isn't a shilling like a nickel?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Okay, I don't really know what how much a nickel is. So
5 cents.
okay.
5 units. Well, I don't know the conversion.
I wonder if there's a website out there that would take the currency, convert it, and then take into consideration inflation.
There must be, because I've seen like inflation like pretty represented over like the Treaty of Versailles and 2008 housing market crash.
Mm-hmm.
When did this movie release?
Let me look that up. I know it was 70s, but I can't remember when. They'll fix everything.
They're just having a whole conversation while that kid is sleeping. Rude.
Oh crap, I was way off. This was done in 61. I thought it was 73 or something.
If we hadn't thought of that. Since it's an infant, I wonder if it applies into certain poaching laws.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I love the fact that she could have went around the island, but instead she went right through it. Ask and the plot shall enter for you.
That's the American Navy.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Must be the stock footage they were talking about.
Oh, yes. This movie is chock full of stock footage from different time periods, different cameras, different military, especially when they have to have more than 5 ships on the screen at once.
That's a World War I plane.
I'm wondering, why do they send the Navy and stuff out to check on them and not just a normal ship?
My question is, why would they send the American Navy over to
That's all-
Wales?
That's also a good question, but like planes, what other planes supposed to do? They can look around, but
Well, apparently the creature's 200 feet, so maybe they could just fire into its face or something.
okay, they okay, I thought they wanted to check on the
First
uh,
instinct, kill
on
it.
the island and not I didn't realize that they wanted to kill the parents.
Yeah.
They won't fit in our circus. Kill them.
If we wanted a match set, we would have grabbed a match set.
So,
We don't have enough drugs for him.
if some random ship and some dudes can capture the other one, and the Navy can't capture this one, it has to be shot?
No. Why would we do that? No. Kill him.
Clearly, 2 monsters can make double the money, right?
Yeah.
Scientific discovery, scientific smuffery. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Kill it.
Yeah, if I hadn't have done it, where would the plot be now?
It can smell through the water.
Ah, good ego showing there.
Wait, he says there is no way the animal survived. It survives, and then that's a little bit of logical dissonance right there, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to stop, we just need twice as many ships and planes.
They use large cannons on it, but then they try to use conventional arms. It's like, hey, everybody, fire at it. Maybe it'll stop. It's like, what?
We fired warship turrets at it. Nah, just hit it with your rifle. Ping, ping, ping.
Maybe the English Navy can join in.
No, why would the English Navy be off the coast of
Yeah,
Wales?
yeah.
That
I mean,
doesn't make
come
any
on. That's
sense.
just crazy. Stand up so I can ineffectually punch you again.
Okay, that was definitely stock footage because the painting on that warship is actually really interesting. It's called uh I forget the actual name for it, but a slang for it is razzle dazzle. And what it is it's black and white rectangles put at weird angles on the hull of the ship, so it's harder to determine the speed and the direction of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Which they stopped using. They used it a little bit in World War II, but they stopped using it in like the 50s because when you paint your ship bright black and dark, white and dark black, it's pretty obvious to scope out your ship in the middle of the ocean. It's also very expensive.
Monster just gave glamour shot. Everybody fire.
They're firing the turrets in different directions.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody told you about that line you're not supposed to cross when filming. I think what it was is it was the same cannon firing, but they wanted to make it look like it was a different gun.
It's those damn barrels you were talking about.
Yeah.
Some footage looks like it's even older. Like randomly footage from the 40s.
Hmm.
There was definitely no ADR work there at all.
Are they smoking in a submarine?
Wait, it's Wednesday. That monster shouldn't be here yet.
Sorry, something's playing on my mind.
Yeah?
Good, you said that this was the Western version of Godzilla, right?
Well, I guess the British
Do you
version
do
of
you
it.
see the do you see the irony in that um they have a prominent United States military when the metaphor of Godzilla was the nuclear bombs provided by the United States military. Do you see the irony there at all? A little
Yeah?
bit?
Just a little. Actually, there's a line I'm going to point out in this. I think it is a superb read. The matter of fact talking of destruction. I don't remember that stuntman standing in the group of kids.
And why is he on fire anyways?
Yeah,
The 60s, before they got rid of napalm.
that line. Yeah, nuclear weapons are completely unacceptable, but tanks, yeah, sure, go ahead. It's the way he says it. It's like, yeah, this is just another Tuesday, really.
Sorry, I just want to speak on again. Just the absolute irony of, like, the metaphor of Godzilla is like a foreign force that they don't understand, causing ultimate destruction and civilian casualty. And this is still portrayed like, and then the Western media rip that off, even though they are like the aggressor in that metaphor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's ugh, yuck.
I do find it interesting what they did in this movie. It's like, hey, nice dinosaur you got there. Where's the mom?
Um, another thing, at the um, uh, damn it, the crossover there with the cars. I don't know if you noticed, but those two driver got in an argument because one uh, damn it,
Yeah, one stopped
ah,
in front of the other and they argued
yeah,
like something
one
had
it's
happened.
yes. Why? There's something happening currently, and
Yeah,
why are you arguing about that? Nothing happened. There's no damage.
now a good 10 minutes of this movie is spent on the excitement of people running everywhere.
Random green screenshot.
Yes.
That looks more like fireworks to me, but okay.
Yes, I thought the same. Like,
Hmm.
why do
That
they shoot
but that
firework with
won't piss off the
flare
monster.
guns?
I think somebody said we need lighting for the monster, and somebody said we'll use flares, and somebody else said that doesn't make enough light, and then somebody said we'll fix that.
Is that the London Bridge? Or not the London Bridge, the other one? That's not the London Bridge, the James Bridge or something.
Understatement of the century.
I feel like you said, firing at them with normal weapons and tanks is a much step down from firing at them with 150 millimeter cannons
Yeah.
from warships. Like that's a little bit of a step back.
As city destruction goes, there's actually some good stuff in this.
Do you know the budget of this movie off the top of your head?
Oh, the budget. Not off the top of my head. Let me check.
It must be a pretty good kick for a movie in the '60s with all of these practical effects.
About 650,000 US dollars of budget, according to Wikipedia.
Okay, there
So
you
half a
go.
million? Is that set for inflation?
They are missing very much. Well, from those like 30 shots, they hit twice. That is impressive, I'd say.
Oh, he's just over there doing the dumbest thing possible. Don't worry about it.
He's joined the military. Wait, if the monster's coming from the ocean, why would they go west? If it came off, if it's coming from the Atlantic and moving inland, and they're moving west towards it? Geography doesn't make sense.
Well, they could have hired the kaiju army and they're like, hey, go west. It's completely safe over there.
Mass casualties.
I couldn't tell, but I think he had a smile on his face.
He just wants to see the world burn.
And after all this destruction, they don't just say, hey, we should let the little sucker go.
Well, no. Look how long it took for them to realize maybe there's more than one of it.
Yeah.
I think they still fail to realize, well, if that's the mother, right? We've all had the birds and the bees talk, right? We're all men here. Do you guys know that when a mommy and a daddy come together, they make the baby? Where's the daddy?
Gorgo 2, it's the dad's turn. He was obviously part of the scene. The editing was perfect. There was no way they were two separate scenes. Of destruction, yeah. I wonder how they filmed this, because it's actually very well done. I mean, having him pack in is one thing, but to have the crowd pushing him around and you feel like he's being pushed. He's actually fighting the crowd to prevent the kid from getting hurt and stuff.
Yeah. Is it now?
Yeah. And
And
where did
he's
the
the
water come from?
and he's the only one going into the train section, or like it looks like a sewer, but it clearly was a train station, right? I mean, why is there a sewer inside a train station? And why is this green screen again?
All because of humanity's one desire, the circus. Piccadilly Circus is in the south of London, like in the southeast. I mean southwest of London, on the bottom of the Thames. I think, if I remember right. They've been tracking this thing for days, and they knew it was coming. They couldn't get airplanes in the sky earlier?
Who
They
knows
just
where
had to
it's
let
going
it
to
destroy
turn
everything
next?
first. Yeah.
Are they flying in a different time zone because it look like daytime now? It's nighttime.
Since those rockets are firing from the daytime, they must be pretty far away.
Also, repeated use of film.
At least he's having a good time. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, usually the monsters we electrocute are much smaller. The kid looks traumatized. He'll be alright. Oh, yeah.
He said it would be alright.
Oh, I'll just park right underneath that. That won't be a problem.
At this point, what they just want to kill it so badly. Like they know exactly where it's going. They know exactly what they could do with the child. Like they just want it dead.
Because this is the 20th century, we should be able to kill the monster.
Yeah.
And there's the only apology you get for all this crap.
Thousands of people have died. Cities destroyed. Sorry. Oops.
Well, since you said you're sorry, all is forgiven, of course.
Yeah, I made a bad call. I'll give you that.
I zigged instead of zagged. You know, it happens. If his hair was swept a bit higher, I bet you could get more voltage out of it.
Not the roller coaster.
Wait, there's people? Why are they around the enclosure?
Or maybe just got what it wanted. The motive is not hard to see here, folks.
Wow, they are moving fast. Oh,
They didn't have to go through the city this time.
Yeah, they sort of cleared that out. Really, is that where they're going? With all the water around them, I was a bit confused.
No, they're going back to Wales.
And it cuts off quick here.
Ah.
And we're back. There we go. So, let's start with what did you think of the movie?
I'll start. I have to applaud it for its time period and the special effects. You guys commented in saying, it wasn't great, but I think that like with the practical effects and the scale that they're on, they were quite magnificent.
well, considering that it was from the 60s, yeah, actually pretty good. If it was from the 70s, a little less awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad we checked what the date was. I had it totally wrong. How about yourself for a bit?
Yeah, well, I have question about some scenes, like the barrel,
Yeah.
and but otherwise it's. I wouldn't say it's bad. I'd say it was okay.
I could see someone going into the movie theater back then and thoroughly enjoying it.
I know when my dad introduced me to this movie, he started it with, so they get this dinosaur, see? And then they go, hey, where's the mother? And then the mother shows up and says, I want my child back. And it was like... Anyway, so my argument for the show is that though the ending does the moral, is man actually the top of the food chain, blah, 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 which every movie has done since time immemorial. I believe this movie really shows how far your greed and your hubris can take you. You do things fast because you're impatient and you want that gold. You throw caution to the wind the whole time. And in a way, it is the Mother Nature will prove us not to be dominant constantly, yada, yada. But it's also a social thing where socially they should have been taking into consideration the safety of the people in the city that they were bringing it into. They didn't even concern themselves with that whatsoever because the money was what the important thing was. So it's kind of a message against uncontrolled greed. So with that argument out, I will start with FakRavens. What do you think this movie deserves? Would you acquit it of all charges?
I give it 3 years. For the fact is, your argument is based on the assumption that the motive of everyone was so simple, yet it was just so convoluted, right? Like it was first, all right, we need supplies. All right, we found gold. All right, we're gonna get gold. All right, we found the monster. All right, we gotta do this. Like it was just like there wasn't like the most constant character in that whole movie was the kid. Like he just wanted to be around. That was his only motive, right? That was his only goal. And to just go like so blindly into that greed, I think is like just ignores the nuance of like true humanity, right? Like there was only one person besides the kid who tried to like rescue the monster, you know, and it was like, and then the only apology for that was like, all right, bad call, that's my part. Like that, it's just ridiculous, you know. I give the movie 3 years in prison.
Okay, sounds good. How about yourself, Minskrat?
Well, looking at it as a whole, I would actually... Can I go half a year? Is that possible? Because overall, it wasn't a bad movie. And
Mm-hmm.
I expected like the cinematography and the shots to be way worse. Going in with your statement about all the like bad green screen and I mean, I noticed there were a lot of repeated shots, like right after each other, not even like shown in the beginning, shown in the end. No, they just went, hey, here's this shot from 10 seconds ago. I hope you don't remember this one. And especially in the city destruction scenes. But looking at those shots, they look really great most of the time, considering the age. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it in for more than half a year.
Half a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it gets.
Oh, we can go with halves. I like.
By the way,
I like it.
random fact, I forgot to mention, 1 shilling in 1960s money is about £1 in 2017.
Okay.
So still
$5.
still pretty cheap though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 4-bit. How about yourself?
I would also give it half, because I expected also worse than it was, because of what you told me before we started, and there were some scenes that were questionable, some scenes where the blue screen or green screen were very obvious. But I'd say it wasn't that bad. So it could be way worse, and it was fun to watch.
Okay.
They could have shot a lot more on location. That's
Yeah.
Should we like give like a probation, like what it needs to rehabilitate itself?
Hey, I like that idea. Yeah. What do you think?
I think like it just needs to like the metaphor with Godzilla, like I was talking about, that, you know, it was totally ripped off from Eastern media, but the metaphor and the motive is simple. It's a creature that's foreign to the people and just ultimately destroys, and no like solution they can find solves it besides what was the end of Godzilla? It's like it just
In the Godzilla,
but,
they used an oxygen destroyer, a weapon they never saw before, because nothing conventional could ever take it out.
Exactly. So like it's that metaphor, and yet here it's just like, oh, people want money, right? And so if you just straighten out its motives and like give more depth to the characters rather than just like, ooh, I like this thing, oh, I'm doing this thing, oh, I'm doing this thing, it would make a lot more sense.
Do you have either Mints or 4-bit? Do you have any way in on that, or what you think would make a better movie?
Well, I'm not too sure. I don't actually have that much of a problem regarding the plot or the characters themselves. I mean, sure, it's not as deep, and maybe we're used to like really deep character arcs, and like, but we have a lot of new movies that are just better. But considering its time, it's I actually wouldn't criticize it too much for that.
That's fair.
The things that I would say that are the most problems are some inconsistencies, like as you said, with planes that they shot. They were like in daylight, and the whole other scene where during the night. That's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Such
they were
problems
firing
were
it
like,
from very far away.
yeah, very
or like,
blatantly obvious continuity errors.
yeah, or the problem with the water. We saw like nothing in there.
Oh yeah,
Because it was such a bad quality. But that are problems, I think, that from the time when they filmed it, they didn't have the technology to make it much better, I think.
yeah.
I've not watched many movies from that area, so I don't have much to compare it with.
Actually,
But,
during the 1960s, the special effects that they used in a lot of it were really well done, because even I was watching some of the buildings get destroyed, and they actually had levels and stuff in them. It wasn't just like, oh, I destroyed an empty building. When a lot of movies made during that time where there was building destruction, you would notice that, oh, it's a model. Where this actually made me feel like, okay, they did something a little bit more than just a simple model.
And
Especially with the bridge scene.
Yeah. I thought that bridge tore apart. Actually, you probably didn't notice it. You might have. When they fired the first rocket off at Gorgo, it goes right through Big Ben. In one side, out the other, and hits him. And I'm like, whoa, that was actually very well done. I wonder if they used wire or what for that.
And the general compositing wasn't too bad either. Like all those rocks falling onto people. Sure, it looked a little off, but not the worst compositing job I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Some problems that I had with like the rocks, they looked a bit strange. Like that are definitely not real rocks and stuff. But
I did notice they had some real rocks that they threw on the people, but I'm guessing it wasn't enough, so they kind of superimposed some rocks over the top of it. It's like, that doesn't look good enough. Let's do it in post type thing.
I mean, some of the stuff just made it funnier, I guess. I mean, even if it wasn't intended, but on the island in the beginning, where they were just throwing tons and tons of burning sticks onto the monster. Sure, not realistic, but kind of funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
oh,
Anyway, go ahead.
one last thing. The part where the monster slapped this one guy to death. That was also very questionable, let's say.
And to be fair,
Anyway,
I mean,
what? Go ahead.
he slapped some random, unimportant character, and no one ever talked about it again. It's like they could have left it out. Very honestly.
Well, what was it? The guard was killed on the ship, but then the guy was hit by the tail, and the guy that was hit by the tail, but it was George. George is dead now. It's like, who's George? What? But anyway, so I have a 3 years from FakRavens, half a year for 4-bit, and Minzcrat gave it a half a year also, so that's 4 years that it would go to prison. But unfortunately, Gorgo was found to be underage, and he will not be going to prison at all. He will be doing community service, and we hope that he learns a lesson. Anyway, now we are to the point where we can shamelessly plug ourselves. FakRavens, you first.
Hi, yeah, so I run a podcast for the past year. You can find me at Real Talk All on Twitter, at Real Talk on Instagram, and you can find my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else where you find your podcast at Real Talk with FakRavens.
Sounds good. Okay, 4-bit, give us your spiel.
I am a small streamer that currently mostly plays and streams Beat Saber. But maybe I will switch it up soon and play something and stream something new. But yeah, you can find me at Twitch as .tv/MRXGames.
And finally, Minzcrat, give us your
Well,
spiel.
I didn't prepare for this, but yeah, I do stream Beat Saber as well, like almost everyone here. But yeah, If there's any platform I'm on, you can just find me on mincecrowd.com, and now I'll have to set up my website to have all my Twitch links. Nice. Finally a
Well-
reason to get it done.
And what I will do for you is I will ask each of you what you want me to put on the YouTube video so I can give you them all your links and stuff like that. So we'll take care of that. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much, FakRavens, 4-Bit, and Minzgrat. Thank you so much for coming in and watching this with me. It is, I will admit, it is one of my favorite movies for monster movies because I love giant monster movies, and seeing somebody else's take on it is pretty nice. I have
Even
been
though
your
it's a
host.
massive Western
Whoops.
ripoff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have been your host, Goji Spit, and this has been The Devil's Advocate, brought to you by the Kaiju Army. You all have a good night, and take care.